Hello and welcome. Have you ever wondered how your credit card works at any ATM machine whilst you're on holiday? Or why your devices, from your smartphone to your laptop, can seamlessly connect to Wi-Fi networks across the world? Well, the answer lies in something called standards. They impact every aspect of our lives in ways that you might not even realise. So, let's get started with the basics. First off, when we're talking about standards, we're not talking about rules or regulations. Standards are more than that. They're documents which provide guidelines, recommendations, specifications, or requirements on how to do something in the best way possible. Like designing a product, constructing a house, or even harvesting the food we eat. Standards cover a huge range of activities. Although they're typically used by organisations, governments, industry bodies, and regulators, even as individuals, standards touch every part of our lives, often without us even realising it. From your morning coffee to the smartphone in your hand, and even the car you drive, standards ensure that these things work the way they're supposed to. That the reason the coffee you have is safe to drink, your phone charges properly, and your car starts when you turn the key. When it comes to using a standard, organisations might choose to do so to demonstrate that they're doing something in the best way and experience the benefits of this. Benefits such as growth, market access, improvements to internal business processes, and cost savings. While some standards can be followed by organisations so that they're compliant with laws and industry regulations. For example, there are standards which provide requirements for the protective clothing that should be worn by workers on construction sites. These can be followed to ensure that the relevant laws for workers' safety are complied with. So, now you might be wondering how standards are made. And the answer is that it's a collaborative process. An idea for a new standard will be proposed, and then experts on the subject matter from various fields, including scientists, engineers, industry professionals, and consumers, will come together to form a committee or working group to agree on good practice. This process ensures that a wide range of insights and voices are taken into account to build consensus. These experts will review, research, test new ideas, and discuss the best methods to achieve desired outcomes. The result is a document detailing the agreed good practice that everyone can trust and rely on. This brings us to the role of standards organisations. Organisations like the British Standards Institution plays a crucial role in developing, publishing, and promoting standards. They operate on national, regional, and international levels and bring together experts to develop standards that can be adopted worldwide, fostering global compatibility and trade. By establishing and maintaining standards, these organisations help create a foundation for sustainable development, equitable access to resources, and improved quality of life for us all. Their efforts lead to more efficient markets, safer products and services, and a more resilient society capable of addressing current and future challenges. As well as developing and publishing standards, standards organisations also promote the adoption and use of standards. These educational initiatives help ensure that standards are understood and correctly implemented to support economic growth, safety, the environment, technological innovation, equality, and consumer confidence, social inclusivity, and regulatory frameworks. Now, not all the standards are the same. There are different types of standards, and which ones organisations choose to implement depends on their specific need. For instance, you would use a specification standard if you needed detailed requirement on a product, service, system, or process. A management system standard if you want to improve organisational practices. A code of practice standard for practical guidance and recommendations. A guidance standard for advice and supportive information. A method standard for testing procedures. A vocabulary standard for terminology. And a classification standard for systematic arrangements. The type of standard you need depends on what you want to achieve, but they all aim to create consistency and trust. Let's take a closer look at the structure of a standard, so you know what to expect if you're using one for your first time. Standards used to be printed documents, but now they're more commonly viewed online. The structure of a standard can vary depending upon its type, purpose, and the organisation or industry that develops it. However, there are common elements that are typically found in most standards. These sections include the table of contents, foreword, scope, references, terms and definitions, requirements or specifications, annexes, appendices or supplements, a bibliography, and index. This structure ensures that all necessary information is covered in a systematic way. So, how are they actually used? Well, organisations use standards in various ways. For example, a hairdressing or barber's business might use standards to ensure the highest level of hygiene, safety, and service quality. They can help to ensure that all hair products used are safe and properly stored, that tools are sterilised between uses, and that staff are trained in the best practice for hygiene and customer care. This adherence to standardised practices not only protects clients' health and safety, but also enhances the business's reputation for professionalism and quality, leading to increased customer trust and satisfaction. On the other hand, a school might implement a standard to improve its safeguarding processes. A toy manufacturer might implement one to ensure their products meet the required specifications, whilst a supermarket might implement a standard to ensure that the food they are selling are safe for consumption. You get the picture. But how do we know that organisations are adhering to these standards? While they can communicate and demonstrate their compliance to standards to clients and stakeholders, sometimes more robust validation is necessary. This is where third-party certification plays a crucial role. Certification is a process where an independent accredited body verifies that an organisation's product or service meet the specific requirements of relevant standards. This not only builds trust with consumers and stakeholders, but also provides credible proof of compliance. Obtaining this certification provides tangible evidence that organisations are committed to maintaining these high standards. However, it's important to note that most standards are not externally verifiable, only some are. The actual benefits of standards come from implementing the best practices they outline across your organisation or production processes, not only from getting a certification. By implementing a standard, you improve your current processes to ensure consistency, quality, and efficiency, ultimately working in a more effective and cost-efficient way. Additionally, to experience the benefits of standards outside of certification, you don't always need to implement a standard in its entirety. Depending upon the type of standard you're implementing, you can adopt specific aspects of that standard that are most relevant to your business. This allows for flexibility and customization based on your organization's unique needs and priorities. Thank you for joining me today for this introduction to standards. I hope this has given you a better understanding of what they are and why they matter. If you found this video useful, be sure to like, subscribe, and check out BSI's other videos.